Hi everybody, this is Bob with KCCraps and welcome back to another video. And this one is going to be different. We're not going to have an overhead. We're going to actually change our camera view for today. It's going to be right on the table and I'll explain why. Today we are actually going to go over a controversial topic, and I call it controversial because some people believe in it, some people don't. And it's a theory that I am starting to become more and more in agreement with, and that is dice setting. Now, dice setting is one of those things that, no, I cannot throw the dice what I want to get when I want to throw them. I can't pick up the dice and say, okay, I'm going to get a hard 4 and then bang, hard 4. I'm going to throw another hard 4, bang, hard 4. It doesn't happen. However, there is a way to influence the dice if you get a good throw and are able to get it in the direction of the two numbers that you want to go after. Now, that also depends on making sure that the spin is correct, getting a good landing so that it doesn't bounce too much or kick out on the sides, so on and so forth, that we see all the time when we're playing craps. But there is a possibility. So how does it work? Let's set it up on the table and I'll explain. Okay, so let's talk about dice setting. So we have our dice here, and we want to start aiming towards specific numbers. So a lot of times you guys will hear me talk about setting up a dice throw with a 6-2-6-2 dice set. So it's a hard way set that we aim for boxcars, hard 4, aces, and a hard 10. Now, the thing you have to remember about throwing dice is that, yes, there are bounces and odd rotations. So essentially, we're also looking at a possible 8, 7, yo. And then if you go like this, there's another 7, a 6, and a 10. Or you can go with a aces, a 3, and a 7. And so on and so forth. So there's a 2, 4, 3, 7, 8. So that is the different dice combinations. You'll notice that the 3 and the 4s were not talked about because those are on the sides. So how does it work? Well, when you're throwing the dice, a lot of times you will see people, they'll throw the dice, and as they travel, they will flip like such, turning towards you as it travels in the air, and then hits and lands. Okay? Now, when you throw the dice, you have to ensure that you're getting that throw and that you don't have a dice spinning sideways or spinning like such or spinning like such as it goes out. You have to practice the throw. That is the first key point. Practice makes perfect. You have to ensure a Z-axis throw, which means it's just going over back spin towards you, not forward, but backwards, spinning backwards towards you as it travels in the air. Now, with this, you have to be very careful when you hold the dice. You'll see a lot of people who will hold the dice like such and then toss it. I personally hold the dice like such and toss it. Now, either way works. You'll see some people that will grab the dice and will throw it like this, looking for no type of spin, just to get it on a flat so that when it hits, hopefully it'll just bounce and then land on the number they want, or, something in that type of combination. It's when you start seeing on this dice set, when it throws and a 3 or a 4 comes up in your throw, you know that you're off axis or you hit a bad spot on the table when it landed. It's, again, trying to influence the dice, however, not being able to hit the number that you want specifically, but you can try to influence them. And I say can and try as optimal words here because it does not work 100% of the time, and there is no guarantee that it will get the numbers that you want specifically. Another dice set that I personally like to use is a 3-5-3-1. This is a 3V dice set. So we have a hard 6, an easy 6, a hard 8, and an easy 8. Now with this dice set, you will also see yos that will pop up. You can also see a 3 that will pop up, but then you can also see something like a 10 or even a 7. Just because there are so many combinations of 7, that's the highest combination, and that's why it's always the crap out number. Just because there's more combinations of 7 than any other number, single number on the table. So, two other dice sets that I personally like to use. There is the 3-5, 1-5. Now, this is specifically geared towards aiming at 4s and 10s. So there's an easy 4. We have a hard 10. There's an easy 10 and a hard 4. And of course, a 3, a 7, and an 8. And then you can also get a 5, a 4, an 8, a 9, and a 5. So there are more combinations that you will see as the dice spin. Now, you have to remember that, again, you're not guaranteed to get the numbers that you're wanting, but there can be a possibility to influence those dice to get what you want. And I cannot say that enough. I know I've said it a ton of times already here in a very short amount of time, but this is aiming towards numbers. No guarantee that these numbers will come up. Now, if you're a 4 and 10 hunter and you want to also look for 5s and 9s, well, here is a 5-6, a 5-6-5-4 dice set, okay? So there's a hard 10, easy 10, hard 4, and an easy 4. Now, also with this dice set, there's a 9, a 7, and an 8. Going back to the hard 10, there is a yo, a 10, an 8, a 9 again, and then we'll go one more tick up, a 7, 6, 4, 5. So those are the different combinations that you can get. And finally, one last one is a 4, 3, 5, 6 on the different combinations. Now, again, this is just trying to influence the dice. I talk about it, and when I'm aiming specifically for 4s and 10s, and I'm hitting them with somewhat good consistency, I'll hit 3 or 4 of the 4s and 10s in a row. That means I know my landing zone is correct. That means also that I'm getting a good spin on the dice and they're not kicking off either side. Sometimes you'll hear me say, oh, my left die, or oh, my right die was off, or oh, my landing zone, I missed it. And that's why it kicked the dice in separate directions. This is not the end-all be-all solution to a perfect craps game, or saying, hey, I'm going to hit a hard 4 and throw the dice and bang, get a hard 4. It's just not going to happen. Now, if you're going to try to influence the dice as you are going, again, I have already said it, practice makes perfect to ensure an X or a Z axis throw. If you have a table at home, or you have a surface that you can confidently practice on that gives you the same feel as playing at a craps table, I highly recommend it. Set up the correct distance as far back as you need to be to throw the dice of what you will see at your local casino. And then as you're practicing it, start trying to call your shots. Hey, I'm looking for 4s and 10s. Hey, I'm looking for 6s and 8s. Watch how the dice land. Mark down your landing, or try to identify your landing zone, and then piece of paper, write down, what do you get? And then what it was the combination. Was it in line with what you were trying to throw? If you are finding yourself getting some success and you tried it out at the casino and you're seeing that the success is continuing, why not take advantage up here on the numbers that you are using on the craps table? So if you know you're a 4 or a 10 player and you have your 5, 6, 8, 9 set up, say, let's just use the example I like to do. 5, 6, 8, 9, I like to get them all up to the $75 level. So I'll have 75 on the 5 and 9, 90 on the 6 and 8. Every time $100 pays me, I will then shift either a half or the whole thing onto a 4 or a 10 as I am throwing the 4s and 10s. I just keep building them up, and if I'm hitting my 4s and 10s, then obviously, yes, I want to try to take advantage of it. Now, again, I cannot say this enough. This is a controversial topic because some people believe in dice setting while others do not believe in dice setting. No, this is not the end-all be-all answer to your specific type of play or your casino or I can't even guarantee that it will work. But with that said, you can try to work to influence the dice. No, they will not work 100% of the time, but it is an interesting topic that can be discussed without much fanfare, for the simple fact that if your practice makes perfect and you go to the casino and it works for you, then it works for you. You do what works for you. Don't worry about the other critiques of whether or not it should or should not work, or no, I don't believe in that and that's a bunch of crap. If it's working for you, you stay confident how you shoot. Don't let others get into your head, and see if you can't take that to the casino and get some success from it. All right, guys, I know that was a lot of qualifiers, and I know I repeated myself several times saying, no, this is no guarantee. No, it will not make you a winner. And no, you will not be able to call your shots. But with that said, you can try to influence the dice to get what you want. It will not work 100% of the time, but if you can get a good throw and you understand the mechanics of how the roll works, and when you are off, it can be beneficial to you. Also, another thing that I strongly recommend that I did not talk about in this aspect, or in this video, is that check your landing zone. When you get to a table, find a table that you want to play and just feel around on it. Look for dimples, look for creases, look for tears. Feel the table where it's going to land before you start throwing. That will also help you ensure that you're getting a more even bounce. Look for your landing zone. If you're finding the dice too bouncy, shift it. Move it to the left, move it to the right. Move it forward, move it back. Find that soft spot that allows you to have the bounce that you want, and then get the throw going and see if it works for you. I would be very interested to find out if you are trying this, or if you already do it or believe in it, or even, you know what? Tell me you don't like it. What is it that you don't like specifically about dice setting? Is it just a total farce? Who knows? But if it works for you, regardless of what anybody else says, do it. But just remember, you have to practice. So if you found this video helpful or you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. And we're also looking for more followers. Hit it. We're over 2K. Cannot thank everybody enough. And finally, hit that bell notification. It will let you know when the next video comes out right here on KCCraps, like Monday. We got our bankroll series, Fell to Fortunes. We'll see you guys then. This is Bob with KCCraps. You guys have a great weekend.